Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffany. So today I'm going to do a flip through of a journal called the Clockwork Reader Journal. So the author of this journal has her own YouTube channel. It's alive and well. I'm going to tag it here or bookmark it here so that you can access it if you want. But she is somebody who is an avid reader and she goes through lots of books. And as you can see, Raven is just determined to be in this video. The other thing is that this journal has, not only does it have journal entries for 100 different books, but it also has a lot of other things that readers like to track. So your favorite books, your favorite authors, favorite movie adaptations of a book. It also has a section in it where you can set goals for whatever reading goals you might have. So there's a lot of opportunity with this journal to really kind of make it your own. There's a lot of prompts that can prompt you as far as each book you read, but it also allows you to have the flexibility with some blank space as well. The last thing I'm going to say before I get to the flip through is that I'm really sorry in advance. Raven, my cat, was just determined to be in this video, and I was just like, the show must go on. So you're going to see her in spades in this one, but hopefully it doesn't detract from the content or detract from you getting what you want, which is seeing what's inside this journal. So I will go ahead and go to the flip through. All right, so I'm going to do a flip through of A Clockwork Reader Reading Journal. So that's a little bit of a tongue twister, but this journal is, just to kind of get into some basic stuff, this journal is about 7 inches by 8.5 inches tall, and it has a really nice finish on the cover. It's like super soft. It's worth noting. But this is a place where you can record up to about 100 books, and you can personalize each entry as you're going through. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and crack this open. All right, so first we're going to see an introduction from the author. So the author is someone named Hannah, and she actually has a very active YouTube channel. It's still active as of 2023, and I'm going to actually link that if I haven't already. But she also has this introduction into this journal. So what you'll find, so this journal has everything that Hannah thinks a book lover would love to track. And I agree with her because there's so much in this journal. There's so much to be tracked as I go through. And I'm going to try to go through it fairly quickly, but I don't want to go so quick that I miss something, okay? But as you'll see here, there's a sample of a journal entry, books you want to read, favorite books that Hannah has, and a place to record your own favorite books, and then also recording, books to screens. Okay, so I have a cat who is passing through, as usual. All right, so the title, goddamn, this is what happens when I try to do videos. Every time, if I start talking, she thinks that this is all about her. It's just really, really not about her. All right, so here we have a sample entry for any books that you might be reading. So you'll notice that up here we have the title, the author, space for a narrator if you're documenting a audiobook, the format. Here you're able to give it the number of stars you would like to give it, the date you started the book, the date you finished the book, the genre, number of pages of the book, and where you got the recommendation for the book. Also, there are 5 different questions that you can answer. So what was your favorite quote from the book? Where were you when you read the book? What's the most memorable scene? How would you recommend this book and why? Or would you recommend this book and why? And then what did you learn from this book? And then there's going to be a blank space here where you can actually draw something or make any other notes that you might want to make. Here, I'm going to move this away from Raven because she's being ridiculous. Okay, next we're going to find Hannah's favorite book. So again, the author's providing her favorite books. I mean, they look like mostly fiction books, and also these are more books that she loves, so those you already have a recommendation when you buy this journal. And then you have several pages where you're able to write your favorite books down. So title and author. Next, you have reading goals. So this is a space to write down as many reading goals as you have, such as how many books you want to read, new authors you want to read, or genres you want to try. Then you have reading stats. So the way I imagine this working out is, for example, I want to read, say, 10 books in, it could be a month, like January, or it could be a year, like 2023. And what you would do is write that goal, and then you would write also here maybe a number, maybe you write the number 10, and then you can track it. So at the end of that time frame, whether it was the year or the month or what have you, you can write, I read, 10 books in March or 10 books in 2023. And then the idea is, for whatever that period of time is you've chosen, what were your favorite genres, how many total number of pages did you read, what was the favorite book of all those that you read, and what was your least favorite book. Okay. Next, we have a spread here for what you would like to read. So this is the to be read list. It allows for title, author, and date. And we have a few pages for that. Again, sorry about Raven. I don't know what else to do. The show must go on. All right, what to read next. So you have a section here of, when you're not sure what to read next, especially if you're an avid reader, sometimes it's good to kind of get your brain going so you can figure out what you want to read next. So she has some writing prompts here, or some thoughts. So maybe you could read a book published in the year you were born. Maybe you should read a translated book. Maybe you should read a book with a movie or TV adaptation. Maybe you want to read a new book by a favorite author. So there's different questions here to kind of get those brain juices going so you can decide which book you're going to read next. And then we get into the heart of this journal. So all the journal entry pages. So you'll see everything's blank here. The stars are blank, so you can fill those in for each book. And I'm gonna go through because there are things at the end. So you will notice that there's about 100 entries for books you've read. And then there's these little breaks in the journals where there's some really cool little quotes. Go back to the back. All right, so towards the end of this book, you're going to find that there's favorite authors. So all of the books that you've read, what are some of your favorite authors and the favorite books? So you have the author and favorite books that you can document. Again, super sorry. This is getting ridiculous. Raven, you need to back off. I don't know if this video is going to work. All right, favorite quotes, record all of your favorite book quotes from all of your different book quotes. So as you know, all of the entries allow you to grab a favorite quote from the book. Well, what you can do is start pulling those favorite quotes that you have and start writing them down here so that you can reference them easily. The next is the most anticipated book releases. So if you are somebody who's following authors and following the work that they're doing, and you know some books are coming out, this is where you can document those for reference later. Here's a list of books to reread. So I don't know about you, but there's only a few books in my life that I would actually take the time to go back and reread, and that's because they're amazing. So this is a place to track those. You also have a section for favorite childhood books. And this is a place to write down what your favorite books were as a child and, write them down. Maybe you want to keep this list for a situation in which you have any kids in your life and you want to share these books. book to screen. So record any thoughts you have on book to screen. So what adaptations have you watched on the big screen, and writing down your assessment of that. So you have a place here for title, adaptation of which book, what's your rating of the adaptation, what's the date you watched it, and then any notes you might have. Next is a list of favorite movies you might have, along with the star rating that you can fill out. And then there's also favorite TV shows. So if you have any TV shows you want to document, plus the date and the rating. Next, we have a reading playlist. So I thought this was interesting because I can't listen to music when I read. Now, I could probably listen to music that doesn't have words, so I could listen to instrumentals, but Hannah is giving a recommendation on a reading playlist here that you can try out. And then there's also space here for you to write down a list of songs that or albums that you like to listen to when you read. Next is, where do you get your books? So do you get your book at a library? Do you get your books at a bookstore or online bookstore? So this is a place to really kind of document the different locations that you get your books. And then you also have favorite bookish creators. So if you follow any content creators who are developing content around books, whether that's on Instagram, social media, YouTube, this is a place to really document those different individuals. And then we have the end, and there's a little bit about the author here. So I'm super excited about this Clockwork Reader Journal. I've always been an avid reader, so I'm really looking forward to using this over the next year or so, as I actually probably longer, because I can't read 100 books in a year. That's just not happening. But anyway, so if you have any questions about this, again, sorry about Raven. She's being ridiculous right now, but hopefully she's okay for my next video.